Hello, everybody. This is Creighton, and welcome back to Chernobylite. I saw this, and I didn't see this right away at the when I was doing the setup for the game. But this looks interesting. The tour around the zone. Tour around the zone. Welcome to the tour around the zone. This mode grants you freedom to explore the exclusion zone. That's what it's called. It's called the exclusion zone. Without any missions or adversaries, the Chernobyl disaster stands as an extraordinary event in human history, imprinting a profound impact on the environment and global awareness. Throughout your journey, you'll cross paths with scientists who will impart authentic stories from the zone. Delve into reading notes to uncover additional facts and anecdotes about the remarkable place. Interesting. Like this is just yeah, this is like the kind of stuff that I love looking at. You're presently within the safe house of Chernobylite's protagonists. Head towards the binoculars by the window and choose the area of Chernobyl you'd like to explore. I saw the binoculars. So Moscow Eye, Red Forest. Oh, okay. Red Forest, Papillet Port. I'm not trying that one. Papillet Central, which is where the Ferris wheel is. Residential area and the cooling towers. So the zone encompasses the Guga Raider complex, showcasing not only its iconic antenna but an air defense system, military hospital, and various technical structures. Yes. Oh, cool. I'm still getting Doctor Who vibes. Feel free to explore the entire area at your leisure, both on radar screen in the upper part of the map. You'll notice markers indicating the locations of both scientists and notes. Seek them out to uncover more about the history of the Chernobyl disaster. Take your time to immerse yourself in the zone's atmosphere and uncover its secrets. Best of luck, Stalker. Stalker. I wonder how true to accurate this is. It sounds like they went and got ultra accurate with it. We'll see. I mean, not because I've been there, but condition and psyche. Okay. Oh, okay, I see up at the top. So it looks like they're all that way. Most of them are that way. Looks like that's the closest one. Oh, there we go.
Current radiation levels in the exclusion zone are quite low considering the scope of the catastrophe. Nevertheless, there are places and objects here that constitute a genuine health risk, known as radioactive hotspots.
I know the answer to that. It's yes. Like never. Let's do this.
Typically, cracks can be found in various locations around the zone where radionuclides such as cesium 137, strontium 90, and plutonium 241 have accumulated. Also, the equipment used to deal with the Chernobyl disaster, now abandoned and heavily irradiated.
Yep. Oh,
If you
okay.
stayed in one of the hotspots for a long time, you could develop radiation sickness. But you don't want to test this theory in real life, trust me. Scientists estimate it will take 3,000 years for the exclusion zone to be free of radiation. As for the NPP, it may take up to 20,000 years.
Jesus. Okay, it's not letting me go that way. There we go. Ugh, it's crazy what happened there. Let's see what he
Did
has
you
to
know
say.
that those affected by the Chernobyl disaster received a dose of radiation similar to survivors of the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima in 1945? The average dose of radiation received was 45 rem. Not enough to cause radiation sickness, but enough to increase the risk of cancer.
For sure. Oh God, a
Around
lot.
30,000 people were directly affected by the explosion of reactor number 4. According to the International Atomic Energy Agency, the cumulative radiation dosage generated by the Chernobyl disaster amounted to 10 million rem.
Wow.
100 to 200 rem will cause mild radiation sickness, resulting in symptoms such as nausea, diarrhea, and fatigue. 3 to 400 rem means a 50% chance of death within the next 2 months if left untreated.
Jesus.
Exposure exceeding 400 rem means almost certain death within months, weeks, or in
Right.
cases of extremely high doses, days.
Oh,
32 people are confirmed to have died as a direct
that's
result
it?
of the disaster. The exact number of people who suffered long-term consequences is still an open question in scientific
Right.
circles.
I mean, I don't mean to sound callous, but yeah, that's still too many. I'm just surprised that the number is that low. I thought it was a lot higher. One of the other radioactive things that I like looking into every once in a while, just to get my blood boiling, is the demon core. And they actually did movies on both these things, the Chernobyl incident and the demon core. I forget the guy's name. I think it's like, is it Kevin Spacey? I don't remember the guy's name honestly. He was in, God, a really good movie about, oh, it was Identity. I think it was him. It might have been somebody else, but he did the movie on the Demon Core, which is just another incident in human stupidity, honestly.
Welcome to the exclusion zone. Here are some basic facts about the Chernobyl disaster.
The accident occurred on April 26, 1986 at the number 4 reactor in the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, then located in the Ukrainian SSR, and now in Ukraine's Kiev Oblast. It was the worst nuclear disaster in history, and one
Yeah.
of only 2 nuclear energy accidents rated at 7, the maximum severity on the International Nuclear Event Scale.
What's the
The
other?
explosion and fire released large amounts of radioactive particles into the atmosphere, which spread over much of western USSR and Europe. The accident caused a significant number of deaths and illnesses, as well as long-lasting environmental damage. The city of Pripyat and nearby
Pripyat.
villages were
Pripyat.
evacuated and never reoccupied. The Chernobyl exclusion zone, covering an area of 2,600 square kilometers in Ukraine and Belarus, was established to limit further exposure and health risks to the public.
Right. Oh,
The other
that's
nuclear
exactly what my
accident
question was.
rated at 7 on the International Nuclear
Okay,
Law
that's what I
Scale
thought it was
is
going to
the
be. Was the
Fukushima
Fukushima? I didn't know when
Daiichi
the game was
nuclear
made,
disaster
so
in Japan.
I had a feeling it was the
That
Fukushima
disaster occurred on
thing.
March 11, 2011, and was caused by a
Which
9
both of
magnitude
these
earthquake and subsequent tsunami
were
striking
within my
Fukushima
lifetime. I think
Prefecture.
he said
This resulted in multiple
1989.
meltdowns
So
and
yeah, I would have
hydrogen
been
air explosions at the power plant, releasing large amounts
a
of
kid back then.
radioactive materials into the environment.
I guess of some age. I would have been like 9 or 8. I was born in 81. But yeah, I remember seeing the news reports about the Fukushima disaster. That was not that long ago in all fairness.
The Chernobyl disaster did not directly lead to the dissolution of the Soviet Union, which took place several years later in
Right.
1991. However, it was one of several factors contributing to a
Yeah,
general
it helped
decline in the
contribute to it.
popularity and legitimacy of the ruling Communist Party. The government's handling of the disaster, including the initial cover-up and evacuation of over 100,000 people, revealed shortcomings in the Soviet system, particularly with regards to transparency and accountability. The disaster also had a significant economic impact, as extensive swaths of agricultural and industrial land were contaminated. The costs associated with cleanup and compensation for victims added further strain to an already struggling economy. Therefore, the disaster was seen by many as symbolic of the broader problems facing the Soviet Union.
Right.
It vastly contributed to the growing sense of disillusionment with the government and the Communist Party.
Oh, this
Effects
should
of the
be interesting.
Chernobyl disaster include widespread contamination of land and increased rates of cancer and other health problems. There is also a long-lasting environmental impact, contamination of soil,
Which
water,
that'll
and
be
vegetation,
contaminated
and
for a
economic
long ass
decline in
time, like they say.
contaminated areas. Not to mention the mental health impact on those directly affected, such as evacuees and emergency responders. The disaster continues to have far-reaching and long-lasting effects, and its impact is still being felt today.
Is it easier to just go around? Maybe not. I don't know. I think the one thing that I don't like is that they do still give it that green hue. Like I've seen videos and stuff. That's just not a thing. Oh, a note. Soviet soldiers established auxiliary farms with their own regulations and practices at Wien Krug. A pig farm was set up to produce canned pork stew, a staple in the Soviet soldiers' diet. But in more recent times, the abandoned pig farm caught the attention of stalkers and looters. Looters have been spotted as recently as a year ago, indicating that criminals have a better knowledge of the zone than law enforcement officers or stalkers. You know, they did capture the tarnishing of everything very well. That is one thing they really got going for them on this. On May 4th, 1986, or maybe it was 86, three individuals risked their lives to prevent a catastrophic explosion at Chernobyl, the flooded basement of which we saw them earlier in the game. The flooded basement of the plant housed valves for draining the coolant pools beneath the reactor, but with a 20 million liter flood of irradiated water, the valves were inaccessible. The molten nuclear material was also heading towards the pools, which would have triggered a 3 to 5 megaton explosion and an unprecedented nuclear fallout. Against all odds, the mechanical engineers Alexei Atankio, senior engineer Valery Besplov, I am butchering those names and I do apologize, and shift supervisor Boris Barnabov entered the basement wearing wetsuits and carrying flashlights. They manually opened the valves and drained the water, preventing an even greater disaster. Yeah, like, those people are heroes. Ugh. Is this like a memorial? Oh. Or I'm sure he'll tell us.
Before you stands the monument to those who saved the
Yep.
world. This intricate sculpture commemorates the many heroic firefighters who died from radiation exposure in the aftermath of the explosion of reactor number 4 of Chernobyl nuclear power plant. The monument's grand reveal took place on the April 16, 1996, marking the 10th anniversary of the catastrophe. Some researchers claim the firemen received 5,600 years worth of
Jesus.
the maximum safe dose of radiation within 48 seconds. Dozens of them died over the following weeks.
That's insane.
The authorities downplayed the risks to avoid creating a panic.
Right, of
The
course.
fire brigade had no
It's okay,
radiation
you can't
suits,
see
no
it, so
oxygen
you'll be
masks, no
fine.
proper
Don't worry
equipment.
about it. Wait,
The
what did that
authorities
say?
downplayed the risks to avoid creating a panic. The fire brigade had no radiation
No
suits,
radiation
no
suits, no
oxygen
oxygen
masks, no
masks, no
proper
proper
equipment.
equipment. Ugh.
At Matino Cemetery in Moscow, since their bodies were highly radioactive, the authorities had them buried in zinc coffins.
Okay. Weird.
Gamma radiation is produced from the decay of radioactive isotopes of plutonium and uranium, elements used as fuel in a nuclear reactor.
It does not make Hulks. That's sad that that's happened. Again, just more heroes. uh, is it behind the building? Or is it the building? Oh, it's got to be inside of it. Damn. Oh, here we go. There it is. Radiation comes in a variety of forms, including gamma rays, alpha and beta particles. Gamma rays have higher energy and can penetrate skin to harm cells. Alpha and beta particles are emitted from unstable atoms, and although they cannot penetrate skin, they can cause damage if ingested. Alpha radiation is particularly hazardous, rated 20 times more harmful than gamma rays and beta particles. To estimate radiation dosage to the body or specific body parts, scientists multiply the potential potency of alpha radiation by 20. Radiation dose units differ between countries, with the United States and Soviet Union having rems and rads, while serviettes and grays are used elsewhere. I am hoping one of these will take us to the elephant foot. One of those. I didn't look specifically at it before we started this. but that would be really neat. Guys, it's really hard to tell which ones you've been to. Okay, yeah, I just was over there. I'm trying to go left or right to left. On the compass above us. Oh, reading about some of this stuff, it's kind of emotional sometimes, you know? Especially when you hear about the callousness of the government. And I'm specifically saying the government, not the Soviet government, because government, period, was. The Jupiter planet, covering 70,000 square miles in Pripyat, produced electronic components for the military before the Chernobyl disaster. Post-disaster, it was reprioritized for decontamination work and the production of robots for the sarcophagus and other NPPs in the USSR. Without heat and hot water supply, it closed down in the late 1990s, and the equipment was relocated, abandoned, and displaced. The site is slowly being destroyed by wind rain and scrap metal collectors. That is probably the worst place in the world to go collect scrap. Thought we were heading to this one. And it's so crazy because this is so much more real than like a Fallout 4 scenario, you know? Oh, there we go. There's the dude. Like, this is true, literal Fallout.
This metal monstrosity has many names. Duga radar, Russian woodpecker, Moscow eye. It's an over-the-horizon radar. Once part of the Soviet Union's early warning missile defense network, it was designed to detect an incoming nuclear strike from the west. The facility was operational from July 1976 to December 1989. The Duga complex was closed in the aftermath of the Chernobyl disaster due to the threat of radiation. Later on, much of the technology was stripped and moved to Moscow. The less important components were looted. The name referred to the radar's distinct sound on shortwave radios, which sounded like tapping. Shortwave radio hobbyists dubbed it woodpecker. Duga interfered with civilian radio frequencies even abroad. At one point, an amateur Russian woodpecker hunting club was formed in Texas to jam the signal. Even today, wild theories surround Duga radar, including speculation that it was used for weather control, psyops, and brainwashing. The official documents about Duga have never been released, leaving the field wide open for conspiracy theories and urban legends, none of which are backed by evidence. The antenna alone is 700 meters long and 150 meters tall. The Duga complex had its own air defense system, military hospital, and technical buildings. To confuse the enemy during the Cold War, the complex was marked as a children's camp on official maps. A bus stop was also built nearby to confuse foreign spies.
Huh.
Even today, wild theories surround Duga radar, including speculation that it was used for weather control, psyops, and brainwashing. The official documents about Duga have never been released, leaving
That
the
figures.
field wide open for conspiracy theories and urban legends, none of which are backed by evidence.
No, that figures too. Let's go this way. Let's go that Chernobyl disaster left behind numerous radioactive vehicles that were, whoops, too contam too contaminated to be dismantled or repurposed. They now occupy vehicle graveyards such as, ooh, that field, where over 1,100 tractors, helicopters, and buses were abandoned in recent years. Significant efforts have been made to clean up these sites, with much of the equipment being dismantled and decontaminated before being sent for recycling. It was officially closed in 2012. Wow. Another famous site is Barikivka? Barikivka? The only vehicle graveyard still in existence today. It has a wide range of vehicles and helicopters, as well as the famous robot used to clean the Chernobyl power plant roof until it succumbed to radiation. Sorry, I can't pronounce some of those words. That's I will try my damnedest for names, but some of those town names I'm lost. Okay, how do I get to that? Okay, I see what we got over here. Oh, I thought I was a tour. I guess we could get hurt on the tour. Is this in the building too? Yep, there it is. In addition to the cleanup effort, soldiers were responsible for protecting abandoned property in Pripyat and other villages in the exclusion zone. This proved to be an impossible task as looters quickly overran the zone, taking whatever they could find. The extent of the looting is unknown, but many raided items from the exclusion zone, such as bicycle car parts, washing machines, and even carpets, ended up being sold in various markets throughout the Soviet Union. That really sucks because that's just spreading the disaster even further. Uh, it's just like there's no limit to human depravity, is there? Oh, there he is. There he be.
Current radiation levels in the exclusion zone are quite low considering the scope of the catastrophe. Nevertheless, there are places and objects here that constitute a genuine health risk, known as
Oh, this is
radioactive
the first
hotspots.
dude. Did we make our full tour then? Seems like it. Can we go off the beaten path and go somewhere we're not supposed to? Oh, yeah, it's got a border fence. Okay, well, that was very interesting, and I love, like I said, this is the kind of stuff that I would just look up. All the information stuff on it. This is really cool. I'll probably do one of these. How do I? Oh, we could still hit things. Where's that scientist? Whoa. Okay, I'm sorry. God. That's the hotspot he was
Current
talking
radiation levels in the never.
about. How do I exit then? Is it just, I guess, oh, return to menu. Yeah, so we'll do one of those after each game video. I'll do one of those different sections. Because what? There was, I'm not sure how you would just cleanly exit out if you can. Yeah, so next time we'll look at the Red Forest. I do, I mean, this has to be artificial island encircled by the egg channel. That has to be where the foot is, I believe. But yeah, so next time we'll look at the Red Forest. Until then, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.